Crisco and Dez here from Crisco Dez
Hello.
and West. We're with obviously Andy Grammer. I think one of my favorite things about you, just jumping into this right away, besides the fact that you're here in St. Cloud today, performing in Minnesota, which is so exciting, you just have the reputation of being such an amazing and fun person to be around. Every time I've ever met you, you're just like the nicest person. So, I mean, is that just you every day or?
Oh man. Well, I was just reading this book about happiness, and some people like part of it's like genetic. I can't even like take credit for it. I don't think. I think some of us come out like a little bit like just smiley. I think that's one of my things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. Well, and you make other people smile, especially with your music. 2 of my feel-good songs are Andy Grammer songs, and It's Good to Be Alive. I love that. I mean, Keep Your Head Up. Who doesn't get motivated by that? Right?
Come on, you know?
And so, like, where do those songs come from?
So I'm actually in town to do this one-man show, and a lot of what the show is about, which with like poetry, through poetry, stories, these songs that you speak of, is like to talk about where do these songs come from? And so the first answer is like, I'm pretty smiley, but a lot of my songs are rooted in like pain. So like I wrote Keep Your Head Up because my mom had just died. And so I wrote it for myself as like a pick-me-up song. And so then you get this, you kind of get a mixture of optimism, but it's like grounded in something real. It's just not like airy fairy, everybody just be happy, because there's like some truth and meat to it. That's the hope. Yeah.
Now, speaking of having that like emotion attached to it, and I'm going to cry because I'm a crier.
Dude, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you got me, because there's a song that we've been, I even tagged you. I know you're busy, obviously, but we tagged you because 2 years ago, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. So I lost my dog, Babe, 2 years ago. And like I said, I'm an emotional wreck. So typically I needed to be picked up and somebody to help me out. And it was like my soul dog. Like I'm an animal lover through and through. And so 2 years ago, we started this thing through the station called Bucks for Babe. My dog's name was Babe, and people started like rallying around it. And I actually have to give credit to Hutch from our afternoon show. He turned me onto this song. And every single year for the past 2 years, where we raised $250,000 thanks to Blaze Credit Union and a bunch of amazing listeners, we have played Save My Life. We have played Save My Life from you every single time. And I even have like a post on my Instagram. I'll show, I mean, you can just kind of see it, but it's just a picture of me and my dog. It's a whole story. We put your song with it. That is like, those are the songs from people that I love. And that's why I will always put you as one of my favorite artists, because you do write through emotion. And to have a song like that when somebody is going through something hard, you need songs like that.
You need songs like that. Dude, first of all, I really appreciate you sharing that story with me. That's amazing. You're touching on one of the things. I swear to God, I'm not just like trying to promote my show. You're talking about the things that I'm doing tonight that I'm about to perform, which is this idea of doing good deeds in the name of someone who has passed on, or something like your dog.
Yeah.
It makes it like, I don't know, there's something really sweet about that. And one of the concepts of the show is that they can actually feel it wherever they are. I don't want to get crazy with you on a morning show right now, but that's what I tend to believe, that like, if you do a good deed in the name of someone who is not here anymore, it does them a service wherever they are. So your dog is getting like so many treats in dog heaven.
Right? Like that's what I always joke around about.
His name, he's getting like heaven belly rubs. He's getting everything that could ever happen. I love this idea. I just really like that. And that's such a sweet thing to do in honor of your dog. That's awesome.
But those songs like that, and all the songs that you write, obviously, something that we all can relate to, you know? And that's what's so amazing about music, and especially music that you write. And I feel like you've come to the station a bunch of times. You've done shows for us. We've all had a chance to meet you. One of the last times I saw you, so it has been a while, you were expecting your first baby. About to be born. So how old now?
That was a long time ago. My daughter just turned 7. She's a little.
Yes. Okay. 7. And you have 2 now, right?
I have 2. And my second daughter is 4. 7 and 4. Yeah.
Wow. You've been very busy. I have a 5 and 9-year-old. So, you've got a lot go. It is the best thing. And you've written songs for your kids then too, right?
Yes, definitely. They still really like my music, which is pretty special. I'm just holding on to this little golden era until it obviously will fade away.
Excuse me, you're Andy Grammer. They're gonna always think you're cool.
Andy, you got to keep your head up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just kidding.
I will.
Just kidding.
I'll
No.
try.
So when you are in the writing process, because it blows me away how some people are so talented like you. And I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt, and I probably should have said butt there, but still, it's one of those things where it's like, does it just come to you so easily where you're like, oh, I got another one? Like, how long is the process? Or the best songs come to you quicker than other songs? Or
it ranges. For the most, I would say 90% of them are grind. Just really difficult. No one would care or want to see how the sausage was actually made, because it's very boring. A lot of it is just trying to find, like, what do you actually want to say? I'm mostly like a lyric guy. And then once I get the lyric or what I want to talk about, then I have a lot of fun after that. But until I have that, everything is at a standstill. And so it's a lot of notes on my phone. It's a lot of, like, I read a ton to try to figure out, like, what are the truths that we're all going through, that if I was able to sing it simply with a hook, it would, like, hopefully get in, like, actually get all the way in. Yeah.
Oh man.
There's a lot of that. And then when you get in the room, it's just like a numbers game of how many times can you try to get it right. Because usually from the act of feeling inspiration to then it comes out of your mouth and gets into a song, more often than not, the song sucks in that transition.
So that is like, not exactly what it meant.
Darn it. It felt so good in me. And now it's out here and it looks like, what's like those baking things that are like have the nailed it on it that like doesn't look anything like the cupcake looks like nothing.
Oh yeah. The recipe
that
disasters or whatever.
And then it just becomes a game in persistence. Like, are you down to write 100 to then get the one that actually does look like it sounded in your chest? Yeah.
What's the song you wrote that surprised you that people really rallied around?
I didn't get that Fresh Eyes was such a banger. When I
really
so good.
I wrote it fast and it was like simple and sweet and sincere, but I didn't think it was gonna be like one of my biggest stream songs of my life. I didn't know that, which is really sweet actually, because now I'll be in a session, I'll be like, I don't know, this feels like fine, but like I have no idea. The other one I didn't think, and now that one's like huge. So let's just keeps you going writing. You know, you have to trust your instincts, but also be open to like, who knows, man, I don't know.
So now traveling and having 2 young kids and being married and everything, like, how do you keep road life exciting? Do they get to travel with you a lot? Do you like, I mean, you're going from hotel to hotel.
Yeah, they're coming out in 2 weeks. We have a 2-week rule where I can't stay any longer than 2 weeks. They got to come out, and they love the bus. They'll like snuggle up in my little bunk with me. My second daughter likes to get up early and sit in the front with like the huge window and just like see the huge, like she gets to see the road. It's really fun. I mean, it's insane. If you have kids, the idea of like being with your kids all day until 8 p.m., you're toast. And then 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. is when I need to like go do the show. So I need we planned it out that I need like a good break once they leave. I just like lay down for a while. Yeah.
Do you have somebody that you are just dreaming of collaborating with? You'd love to write with, do a duet with? Put it out into the universe.
I know, right? Well, it usually goes the other way around. It's usually like, oh, I have an idea for a song, and then because of that idea, then this other person makes like a ton of sense, you know. So the song I just wrote, I kind of noticed this group, Maddie and Tay, and I was like, oh, this would be sick. Let me do this with them. It's like I kind of got like a country vibe. It usually goes the inverse. Rarely do I think like, oh, I want to make a song with Bruno Mars, and then like let me go make the song. It's usually led the other way. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything just starts organically with you, which is one of the most amazing things, because you're just a pure artist. You're doing it because you love it, and that's really cool.
And that's your latest song. What is the name of your latest song with Maddie and Tay?
It's called I Do.
I Do.
I do. I mean, you guys, are either of you married?
Oh, yes.
I am not. I don't.
He's forever single.
I'm forever single. I'm okay with that.
No, I don't believe it. But let me ask you, is there something where, because the I do is kind of like, even when I don't love you, I do. Is there anything like that with
I love that.
Your marriage?
Oh.
Yeah.
Anything you got?
It's always a good one. I mean, like I said,
for my wife, when I'm driving and we love to go camping and we're around like windy roads, she's the most annoying person that I've ever experienced in my entire life.
That's what my husband says about me too.
Now I think of these lyrics as like, even when I don't love you, I do, and I'm just like driving pissed off. Is there anything like this with your husband or what? Yeah.
Oh, my husband he's like, do you have to tell me how to drive always? Or he'll
Oh,
start to
it's just
park.
the
I'm like,
same
did you
one.
have to pick
Got
the
it.
furthest parking spot away? And he's like, did you want to drive? And I'm like, no, I don't. I just want to tell you how to
Okay.
drive. So I get it.
Just
Yep. Even when
start
I
humming
don't.
that. Even when I don't, I do. Just
That'll
hum it
just
in those moments.
it'll be ready to play at any time. That's so awesome.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, you can get that song pretty much anywhere you can get songs. Plus, at the same time, you're going to be in St. Cloud tonight, Paramount Center. I am just anytime you're in town, I try to get there just because you're so talented, and we truly appreciate you. You're always a KS95 teamer for life, and we love you here, buddy.
I really appreciate it. I just want to tell everybody that it's a pretty unique thing that I'm doing tonight. I've played a lot of times in the Minnesota and Minneapolis and around St. Cloud with like a full band, and we go hard and it's huge. It's really loud and crazy and fun. It's like a big ruckus show. This is like a very different, super interesting swing that I'm taking, which is like just me on stage playing songs, doing poetry, telling stories. You're going to get to know me a lot deeper, and I'm really, really excited to do it. So please come hang out tonight if you want to. I think you might leave and go like, what the hell was that?
But that's always keeping you on your toes. You can call it grammar in the
Exactly.
raw.
Yeah, grammar in the raw, dude. That's great.
That's great.
That sounds a little spicy, to be completely honest. We don't need to
It
keep
really
workshopping that name. But
Okay.
for now,
Andy in the raw. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. It's great.
Maybe
we'll
take
work it out.
raw out of it.
Yeah, well, no,
You
it's
got
in the
time.
raw.
Raw
It's the
Andy?
raw element.
No.
You can't.
Raw
Raw grammar. There it is. Maybe think of it. It's
Solid.
fine. Or just call it Andy grammar.
Simply Andy.
Oh, that's good.
Simply Andy. Hey, sincerely, thank you for telling me the story about your dog. That's really sweet.
Oh,
man.
seriously. I was so excited to tell you about it just because it meant so much to me and so much to our audience here in the Twin Cities because they've been a part of it. And I have cried so many tears to that song. So thank you, Andy Grammer. And thanks for being on with us today with Crisco Dez and Wes.
Thank you
We
guys so
love
much.
you.
Later. We love
Bye.
you too. I love you too.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.